Twitter Christian, back with a video discussing the global reset, the gold. I've been discussing it for a while now. If you go back through a lot of my older videos for the last 3 or 4 months, you're going to see a lot of information, a lot of videos about the global currency reset and the gold standard and gold used as being part of the new system. But first, I'd like to thank you guys for your support on the Patreon. As I did promise maybe a couple months ago or a month ago, that I would reveal the BBB stock. And some of you have been asking and commenting on that and asking what it is as far as my YouTube subscribers. If you're on Patreon, then you already have it. And I just recently posted about, multiplication as far as the BBB stock and why we were supposed to search it out, because there's only one BBB that's really worthy of investment. That's the actual symbol for the company, but it's in Canada. And so there are other BBBs, at least incorporated in some of the names of different funds all over the world. If you go to like a stock finder and you just type in BBB, you're going to find many different stocks and funds, ETFs, that have that BBB included, but the difference is it's just included in their overall name, not necessarily it is just BBB. So there could be multiplication. There are multiple ones that are set for like all over the world. So you might just have to check your whatever country that you're in. You're going to have to check your stocks, whichever system you use, to see if there's anything with BBB located in it that might have to do with mining and minerals, gold. A lot of the stuff that we discuss on Patreon and what I've been talking about, a lot of these you can buy on Robinhood. The links are below down in the description. You could choose whichever one. We have referrals, so if you've signed up for Robinhood under me or any of these people, you can send me your Robinhood referral link. You get a free stock. When you sign up, you get a free stock. You turn around, when you get the free stock, you turn around and you sell it, and then you buy some of these stocks that we're discussing. So you're not, of course, yes, I do use my own money to buy stocks, but if I get a referral, then I'll turn around and sell it and then buy other stocks. And if you go back in the past in my videos, there have been a couple times where I hit a stock that was over $100. And then I just turned around and invested that back into Robinhood. So all those links are down below in the description. And so what I'm trying to do is, and I'm just showing you what I'm doing, is that I'm preparing myself to I'm trying to get to myself to a point to be financially independent, where I don't have to go to a job, where I could just focus on investing and focus on, making these videos. And then I can show you exactly, you can see the journey that I'm on. And then when these things do happen, because what's going to happen maybe at some point, when Zion Oil or a different stock, that I've put up starts to go up dramatically, you're going to be trying to get in, at double the price when you should have gotten in when it was very cheap. But you're going to see that journey, and you're going to see whether or not, if this is going to, I guess according to what I would say to you guys, if I was watching somebody, well, let's see if this thing really happened. Let's see what he's talking about is actually going to happen with these different stocks that he's talked about with either Kim Clement or other people, or things that I have found on my own, or things people have sent to me. So there's a lot of things I want to do in my life. I have a major project that I want to get done and get it out there. And it's something that God has set upon me, so I'm just going to go ahead and just pursue that. But I got to put myself into a position of being financially independent and not relying on a company that may twist and turn what God has given to me when I show it to the world. Anyway, so what I'm going to discuss today, because I've talked a lot about the gold standard in the new banking system, and I've discussed it all throughout various videos. And one of the things that I discussed is that the quiet campaign to reinstate the gold standard is getting louder. This was back July 2019. But the article just talks about Trump wanting the dollar gold back, and he appointed somebody to the federal board um, that supports the gold standard, gold backed dollar. So I've showed that. So I don't have to, sometimes I have to remind people that they are, that this administration is trying to go to a gold backed dollar system, right? Just because you don't hear a lot about it in the news, it is in the news. And just because you don't hear a lot about it doesn't mean that it's not actually happening behind the scenes. Just like the central bank said, they were talking bad about cryptocurrency. Facebook was talking bad about cryptocurrency. And then lo and behold, they're all working on their own thing, right? They're all working on their own crypto. So one of the things that I wanted to discuss was what the Dutch National Bank, right? I got 3 different articles here that I've pulled up. And this first one, Dutch Central Bank hints at economic restart based on gold standard. Okay, this is the first bank. The Dutch Central Bank is the first one to talk about maybe some kind of economic restart based on the gold standard. So let's actually see what the article says. It says, after a decade of unprecedented quantitative easing, the appeal of sound currency is returning. The Dutch Central Bank has reiterated some of the messages of gold bugs, stating that gold may become the basis for an economic restart. Gold reserves could restart global economy. The Dutch Central Bank mentioned that gold reserves could be used to start from scratch in case of a global economic collapse. Okay, so I'm not going to read everything. Central banks across the globe upped their gold purchases in the past few months. Gold has always been a part of the central bank's portfolios, but now the importance has grown. In a world of zero or even negative interest rates, as well as inverse bond yields, gold has also gained an appeal as a hedge against runaway inflation and bubbles based on excessive liquidity. Okay, so it just goes on about talking about Russia and all these different banks. They're buying the gold and everything. So this is the first central bank that I've seen, at least in the mainstream news, that talks about some kind of economic reset. All right, so this is the first bank. So I would imagine that in the next couple months, you should see at least 1 or 2 more banks come out and say something. All right, and I've said this before, and this is just one part of a big picture, right? It's not just the dinar, it's not just the gold or the gold standard. It's all these different pieces that we're putting together that's pushing this, okay? And this article here, in Gold We Trust, Dutch National Bank prepares for economic doomsday. All right, so it's just talking about the gold and what it said about the gold. I'll just read one sentence out of here. In the note, the DNB calls the yellow metal an anchor of trust that is able to retain its value even in times of crisis. All right, so again, the article just goes in. You could just do your research, type in Dutch National Bank and gold, and these articles are going to pop right up. All right, and this article says here, just says the Dutch Central Bank endorses the gold standard. All right, so this is a pretty long article. I'm not going to read it all. But it's just kind of reiterating what some of the other articles have said and adding in some more information. So those articles, you can just type in Google and read it. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that the first central bank is coming out and really endorsing this. So you're going to start to see more and more, right? Kim Clement said, when things seem at their worst. And, when the United States decided to pull some of their troops out in a particular area, it kind of caused havoc. And there was a news station, a major news station, that actually created a fake news segment, and they had to apologize for it. Unless there's some type of kind of global shock that something is bad is happening, we're talking about the global reset. So, which does require, according to what they say, for the markets to really crash and go down. And as I've shared with you before, if the Dow goes down to 20,000, well, that's no big deal, because that's really just a lot of, the Dow is only comprised of 30 companies. There's always going to be new companies that come, and there's always going to be companies that go. And there are going to be companies that will not change with the time, and they will die out. Just like you look at Kmart, you look at Sears, and at some point it could happen to Walmart. You don't know. Things are going to change. And so I don't know how bad the stock market, it might, and when he used that word seem, It seems like it could be bad. You know, it's what the news media is telling us. If you just type in recession, there's so many negative articles about, you know, this global economy. Well, in a way, it's true because we have $244 trillion in debt. This world does. And since that article came out, I'm pretty sure it's even higher than that now. You got the mortgage industry, you got different industries that are just falling apart. And, you know, the feds they just pumped a whole bunch of more money into the system again. So something is definitely going on behind the scenes. And I know that, you know, like I said, Trump is trying to push the gold backed dollar, and I'm sure that's going to have an effect on all the trade deals and everything else. So for those of you who have made negative comments about, you know, the gold back and, you know, there's not going to be any kind of gold standard. Well, once again, I just showed you that the first bank talking about the economic restart based on a gold standard. And there are multiple articles about the Dutch central bank talking about what they are saying and what they've hinted at, and, you know, why they're buying this gold. And so what we're doing is we're just watching. We're just watching. Like I said, maybe we'll see some more articles from different central banks here in the next couple months. We're watching to see what does go on in the Middle East and what goes on with Iraq. We are watching what is going on with oil. We are watching what's going on with the energy stock market for those of you who are invested. And all we're doing is that we're trying to get ourselves financially free, because that's what the global reset is about, right? If you're not invested, then I wouldn't understand why you would be even listening to this video unless you are invested in some way, shape, or form. So anyways, I thank you guys for your support. Go ahead. The Patreon is where we're talking about the stocks and different things. You sign up in the link down below in the description. And like and share the video. The more likes it gets, the more recommendations that it gets. Share the video on social media. Also go to the Facebook. I'm posting memes. So if you guys have a meme, a dinar meme or global reset meme, go ahead and go over to the Twisted Christian News Facebook page. It's down below in the description as well. And I'm going to have some fun with that with the video. So hopefully you guys will get some more people posting some memes. Go over there, check them out. With that being said, Twisted Christian out.